Okay, I'm having some awful luck when it comes to streaming stuff tonight. Anyway, we're a couple minutes in here. We're just a minute 45 seconds in here. We are paused at the moment because it looks like they were changing the password in here because we already had somebody pop in. Uh, that's annoying. I don't know whether I clicked the wrong button or something. Either way, when I try to fix it, OBS just like imploded. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while, and I also I haven't streamed to this channel before. So apparently, when I duplicated the settings, blah blah blah, it didn't take the right key. So anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I freaking messed up, and we are paused at the moment, so we aren't really missing much here. We've got Titus versus Lucky Chams. This is the Div1 Finals for Season 6. Rosters at the moment are for Titus, Joshy, Zephram, Versal, Sicknick, Golden, and we have a stand-in, which would be Infamous. And for Lucky Chams, we've got Tap, Simba, Iron Fist, Loam, Wake, and Rectum. So, at the moment, current status, paused. Did see a little bit of an engagement over in East Junction. Ended up going in the Marines' favor, but by then Rectum had made his way to Nano, was able to get the tunnel down, and so they pretty well locked that down. And Golden got a nice double kill on Iron Fist and Wake, pistol kill right in this little corner right here. And yeah, I do have that off, theoretically. Alright, anyway, we are now unpaused at long last. And so at the moment, as everybody tries to figure out where it is, or what status things were going. Okay, Loam is going to run right into Josh. He was just going to like completely mow him down. Rectum popping his little gorgy face out of Nano over into East. Iron Fist moving in on Zephram is going to be able to take him down. And he's going to also go after Joshy, but he is going to get completely destroyed because, well, Gorge plus Skulk equals death, apparently. This should be live in another 45 seconds or so. So fingers crossed it has finally worked this time. And this is why, friends, you should always do a test run when streaming things. Anyway, Simba and Iron Fist moving in on Golden, who is hanging out here in cargo. He's in nice line of sight to be able to take these down, take down everyone, but he's getting really low on health. It's 75, lots of med packs there. He's up to 100 health, so he may be able to take down Rectum if Rectum doesn't, do a lot of really epic Gorge dodging. He's down to 87 health. Golden reloads, and he is able to take out the Gorge. So he got a little bit too bold there. There was a huge, that's a huge amount of distance for poor little Skulks to be able to cross. Loam also trying to poke his nose in there, but by himself, that's going to be really hard. I mean, to a certain point, is it even worth really spending your time down there? You could be off biting some res. I mean, they already have it capped. You aren't really saving anything by being down there. So he's finally going to go back off, and he's going to join up here, and they're going to take down Zephram. We have Iron Fist up as a lurk, and whether or not we'll see a second one is, to be determined. The Marines get cleared out of Nano. It had been Joshy, Zephram, and Sicknick that had moved in there. And they'd even capped down, Titus had even capped all the way down here to Overlook. And, during the initial pushes. So that gives them a fair amount of res. They were up to a total of 5. They're going to lose 2 here. The one down in cargo, which they'd capped before. And with shotguns already going, I mean, that's a fair amount of res to be able to hold down in the initial part of the game. You can see that they are sending Infamous down there to cap over in Pipeline. So that'll help them out there. Alright, so it is live now, finally. Dear Lord. Alright, anyway. We got Simba over there in Nano, but it looks like they are going to be building up a little armory block right there, and it looks like possibly just going to go rush Nano and take that over. Shotguns are finished. We got 2 of them there and an LMG. Joshy pulling up the back there with the LMG. Iron Fist is at half health already, though. Okay, we do have Wake as well. It looks like they're just going to bum rush Nano and see what happens. They go in there. They do have a crackdown. Both the lurks getting a lot of nice spike damage. Of course, those shotguns will hurt a fair amount. They are at set weapons 1. The little freaking carrot thing or chevron is kind of small. Loam and Rectum's getting low. He is going to get picked off. Loam is underneath the floor, it looks like, and they're going to go right for the tunnel to try and pick that off. We got Infamous kind of creeping along here. He's going to get a nice amount of chip damage. into poor Wake, who was going to dodge through the vent system. And it looks like they are going to be able to take over Nano. At this point, the base is pretty well, you know, unguarded. But at this point, they're going to lose a fair amount of the res. And they did finally realize that possibly they should back the heck up. Sicknick is over there. He almost gets enough. Okay, who changed their name just to be? Oh no, never mind. I'm just terrible at reading. Tab was the one who went through and yeah. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Where was I? Beacon up there. They did build an OBS that was actually down there in Nano. They were clearing out the tunnel. I mean, yeah, sure, that helped a little bit, but all things considered, that was potentially more of a net loss for the Marines than anything. They weren't able to take down any of the harvesters. Yeah, sure, they took down the tunnel, and so that got, and with the gorge down already, I mean, they aren't going to be able to get that easy movement across the map back up. But I mean, as it is, there's the res for the OBS. The power's now down in Nano, which will make pushing back in there a little bit harder, just because, well, obviously you can't do that same thing again. They'll have to set up probably in East. Anyway, we got the three, Joshy, Infamous, and Zeph moving into Nano again. Tap was able to take down, Tap took down Infamous, and they are going to lose another couple shotguns in there. Golden over there working, takes down a Drifter and a Skulk. And that poor little extractor barely survives. But taking now a look at the res graph, you can see that the alien res has pretty much just spiked out of control. They did finally lose one just now. Which one? That one right there. But taking a look at it, you can see they've had, once they have finally got those two RTs down, that was the one that was over here in Overlook and the one that was down in Cargo down. I mean, combine that with Nano, and they have a huge amount of res flow. Rectum kind of in a bad position there, trapped behind a box, and he's just going to... I mean, it's not necessarily a shooting gallery, but it's pretty dang close. They're going to get phase tech here, so that'll allow Titus to have a good way to launch themselves off, wherever the heck they feel like starting. It looks like they're going to go for a dome gate. So that'll give them good access to this lower right side of the map. They got Loam and Tap, both up as fades. Power's up. The gate is not, though. It is. Okay, now it is. It'll have to connect. But the one in base looks like it's not done yet. Yeah, the Versal's out of the chair and building that, so if they knew that, that'd be a really great time to go, chomp on some Marines right now or stab them in the face with pointing arms. The usual. Alright, with the cis chain cut, that'll allow Titus to be able to take this whole side of the map. That's, 4 res right there? Pretty easy, and with Zeph holding the lane up there, I mean, they are going to lose what would be their 5th RT over here. Oh, no, they aren't. They have the high potential of losing that what would be their 5th RT over here, but we're going to see this little engagement that was happening over in Dome. They did have one shotgunner go down, Tap and Loam both getting down to about half health, losing their armor, but able to easily retreat back to Nano, where there is their little healing base and associated buildings over here. I'm getting a nice bit of spike damage from Wake down this whole nice line of sight from the hallway there. Looks like Tap is potentially going to try and flank him there. Golden pushes up a little bit farther forward than everyone else. He does have just an LMG, so it's not the end of the world. And they've got one dude recapping. That'd be Joshy. So he just capped over there in Pipe, and he'll be rotating over towards the gate here momentarily. They are losing C12, though. And that just went down. Now we have a 3 push into Nano. The Drifter goes down, and we're seeing some fighting over here at the gate. Joshy's there by himself, and they're going to have to back out of Nano and head over there if they want to save that gate. Sure, it's only Tap that's over there at the moment, so it wasn't that much of an emergency, but you really don't want to risk losing that other, giant chunk of res, aka shotgunners. And Infamous is actually going to go hang out by the gate by himself, and he is going to survive, at least that. But Zeph's now all by himself because Golden got picked off. So Zeph's there by himself versus all the life forms in the world. He gets, a fair amount of damage there onto Taps, but he's only down to, he still has his armor left, and there's the Crag in there, and the Shade, and all that nonsense. And, well, hey, there's Metabolize. It's perhaps a little bit late, because normally you want that to be, of course, timed with the fades appearing in the first place. But all things considered, not too bad. Shotguns? Whoa, hello, Iron Fist, where did you just get destroyed? Was that by Sicknick? Okay, so he was obviously healing back there or something, and Sicknick was being a ninja and heading back to the hive. And this is just, this whole little standoff in the little hallway outside of Nano is pretty much just that at this point. We have Joshy again clearing assists and just doing little recapping things, but with Bile Bomb going there, it looks like the Chams is probably going to go for something, go for another Gorge, go for, yep, yeah, they got Simba out as the Gorge now. There's the little Gorgie, scooting right along. But that if they get distracted and are pulled back to go fight the Fades or something, okay, sure, the Fades are in a bad position here. At least they were there. I don't think there's anyone. Oh, yep, there's Joshy right there. And they are kind of trapped. Nah, not so much anymore. One Skulk goes down. Poor Iron Fist. He is now dead. The Gorge has been revealed as something that exists. Not that that's too, not that that's too surprising, because, well, Simba does jump out of the hive a fair amount to get that res. Zeph's moved right into Nano. He's getting smacked in the face by that whip that was cloaked there. There's one on each side to really make it difficult for Titus to be able to get a good position in the room. They're going to stand right there in the back. Looks like only the one whip at the moment is mature enough to throw Bile Bomb things. At this point, Tap is just kind of going over there. He does stab Zephyr in the face, and they're going to be coming out to try and save those shotguns. They're going to lose one. So there's one shotgun down, and the aliens are going to swarm over towards the phase gate. Rectum's going to take a lot of bullets. But the gate's safe. They did lose the one shotgun that is there in Nano at this point. Nobody's close enough to be able to recover that. Let's take another look at the res graph here. And, well, nothing too crazy at this point. They're going to try and push down here into cargo. And maybe take down that harvester. But it looks like it is pretty much dead at this point anyway. They're going to lose another shotgun. Infamous not close enough to be able to really do much of anything. Simba's attempting to save that poor harvester, but I think it's, yeah, it's dead. I'm sorry, but that harvester is very dead. And we are seeing some Skulks rotate over to the back res there for the Marines. We got Rectum and Iron Fist. Both, they're just going to finish off that extractor that had been left there in pipe. It was fairly low to begin with. And at this point, Titus is, to a certain point, kind of trapped because they have to spend so much time there in Dome just, like, making sure they don't lose their foothold, which is one of the things, one of the reasons for why you need to, like, get that second gate out on the field somewhere, so that way you could have some way to flank, some way to, get a different position on the map, so you aren't just, trapped in basically two places, one of them being your base, the other one being your single gate location. Anywho, we are going to see Iron Fist and Loam finish off Infamous there. Joshy was coming in to back him up, but it looks like he is going to go down as well. They are going for armor 2 at this point. And they do have weapons 2 as well. So it's, nothing to be, sniffed at. But at this point, see Tap just kind of creeping through the vents there. And Cargo Hive has been dropped. Looks like Wake took a little bit of damage there trying to fight with Golden over there, but they both survived. And I guess they heard that hive drop, which I'm pretty sure that is within range. Loam's going to take a lot of damage, but that hive is, well, it's kind of in danger here, because we got Sicknick, we got Joshy, we got Zephyr all in there shooting the heck out of that thing. They do have the little base back here in the corner around the Gorge Tunnel with Simba and Tap just kind of hanging out back there. I mean, but there goes 40 res. Alright, they got Wake now as well. Armor 2 is now finished. So they're going to weld up, probably head back to the gate. Tap and Loam heading over there at the moment. And they're actually going to go for a robo at this point. They do have enough res to be able to, do that relatively efficiently. Assuming they don't lose their spot in Dome here. Sicknick goes down. They still have Joshy there to be able to cycle that shotgun, especially with Infamous showing up to back him up as well. Meanwhile, Golden's being obnoxious and harassing the hive. Yes, he pulls back Loam here. I guess a couple of nice meat shots into him. Bone Wall there, preventing him from being chased. Simba's back, healing him up that much faster. We got Advanced Armory going. Again, another couple good shots there onto the Fade. But Iron Fist comes from behind. Golden's actually getting kind of low there. They're down to 10 res, and that is another shotgun down. Meanwhile, another shotgun apparently went down over there. Looked a little bit laggy on my screen, but so it goes. Tap was able to take him. Well, Tap and Wake combination there was able to take whoever that was down. They still have just the one forward base here. And you can see that they're I mean, just being pulled so much over to this side of the map because they aren't really blocking this lane as much. I mean, you can see that they do that, but if you just send one person there at this point, I mean, that isn't too threatening. You send the 2 fades, they're gone, and then you can send your skulks in and, you know, wreak havoc. But at the moment, we're going to see all the life forms zoom through Dome, which is kind of a cramped area, not exactly the best for 2 Marines to face off with a whole, you know, herd of aliens. So Sicknick's going to show in there. He's going to get a nice couple shots there. He's able to take down Wake. Tap's able to get out with 100-something health. Loam also getting out as well. So they're going to rebuild the gate as fast as possible, but they're going to have Loam coming in here to take a couple swipes. He's able to get down to take out Sicknick, but they did get the gate back up, and that shotgun's just waiting there for somebody to pop back through the gate as soon as they respawn. So we got Zeph and Sicknick now holding down in Dome. It looks like Joshy might be rotating that. Well, he was rotating that way, but it looks like now he gets to recap over there in C12. And they're just being pulled all over the place. They just haven't had a good opportunity here to be able to sit down that second gate that is, you know, pretty key. Cargo has been redropped again. And this time it's a little bit better fortified. I forget what the range is here for being able to hear that, but definitely they may find, Sicknick may find there's something very suspicious if he decides to poke his head in there. And the hype is going to be going up pretty quick there. And Loam and Joshy having a bit of a standoff there. Or, okay, fine, I switch into this like, cinematic shot there. And you move away. Be that way. Alright, and we do have Rectum up as an Onos. He's just creeping along, and Sicknick is probably like, oh, guys, the Onos is here. He pops right out of the vent, gets a couple little shots at him, and flees the scene of the crime. But just at this point... Oh, Zephyr and Infamous caught over here in the corner. They're going to probably take down the Skulk. They do take down Iron Fist. But Chams just, I mean, they're in a really good position as far as, you know, map control goes. I mean, you just take a look at the map, even just from the little thingy in the corner there. And you could see how much of the map is just sitting there nice and green. Onos has joined the fray. He's going to stab Zephyr in the face. But he's taking a lot of damage. Down to 500 health. But, yeah, again, they can just heal right there. And at this point, it's not looking so good. Oh! We had Versal pop right through the gate at the end there just to see if it could do anything. We were able to create 2 arcs, but at this point there isn't much they can do with them. We got Simba there just going to boil them to death, and they're long since gone now at this point, even though they still exist on the field. So we got 4 here running out of base. We get, of that group, you know, we do have a fair amount of shotguns out on the field as well. I just think part of it was possibly that they weren't able to get, you know, a good position to launch their attacks from in that early part of it. And the nice shade position here, giving them a good amount of, you know, coverage from as far as that goes. I mean, of course, you can still see people when they're cloaked like that, but it's, you know, not too bad. And obviously, pipeline went down as well. So even if they go and are able to take down, you know, one of the hives, they still have their backup hive already growing. And at this point, unless they get some, you know, like miracle level kills here on all these life forms, and even then, looking at the P-res, there's a lot that, you know, just about everyone can just, you know, Tap can refade. Simba can lurk. Iron Fist will probably go Onos here since he is at 56 res. Or he's going to sit in the hive, you know, whichever. We got a nice tunnel that's obviously set up over here in sub in the very back corner. Joshy's been spotted out, but, well, he knows there's a hive there at least, and he's just going to take that down. They have a little, they've moved their gate to be back here in the hallway, which obviously is, oh, and with some turrets. Obviously not exactly the greatest spot to be in right there. I mean, sure, okay, it protects your base a little bit and gets you back to the front lines a little bit faster, but this would have been a good position, you know, back how many minutes ago? But with Iron Fist also up as an Onos, and Rectum up as an Onos, and the third hive is, let's see, it's 70% grown right now. I mean, those little sentries, they're going to be pretty much just, like, laughable at this point. Joshy gets swarmed. We got Infamous just kind of moving into C12. He can hear the Onos that is charging around the corner there. I mean, sure, there are 3 shotguns there, but it's 3 shotguns versus, you know, what is it, 2 Oni? We got 2 Fades and a Lurk. It's slightly frightening. Alright, but they are starting to wheel out some Arc Skin, and they're going to start putting a little bit of damage into Nano. But since they do have the third hive up, they got the shade set up there with ink. So of course, yeah, sure, it helps a little bit to you know, prevent the arcs. You know, they're just gonna wheel all the structures away out of range, and even then, that's just focusing all their attention there while all this happens up here in base. They're gonna get a beacon back. A couple are gonna pop back through the gate to make sure that those very expensive arcs are still alive. But again, they're just really gonna have to make a couple of miracle plays here. I mean, yeah, sure, both teams are sitting at 4 res, which seems a little bit odd there. Just based on the fact that, well, there's just so much more they could have done. Or, okay. Alright, and another beacon forced. I mean, you can see that Titus there, they're sitting on about 30 res at this point. But now Chams is almost back up to 6 res. So that's what it was. They were just recapping a little bit. But at this, I mean, just the snowball is kind of nuts. One of the harvesters in Nano has been taken down, but it's like, it's just a little bit too late for him. They're gonna beacon again to try and get everyone alive and back in base. But each time they do that, there goes another 2 res. They're down to 2 RTs now. And yeah, sure, they're clearing out a good chunk of Nano. But just that initial obs, you know, being forced to do that initial obs drop in Nano, losing the power there, losing the obs there, losing the oh, wait, why'd you go and die when I wasn't watching? Another beacon back. They're going to go picking after Iron Fist there. He is getting fairly low, and they might actually take him down. He does go down. Loam is low out of energy, but he's able to duck around the corner. He is at about half health, so that isn't that much of a problem. They're going to rebuild the gate there, but at this point, they can't get back for now. I'm sure there are the sentries there to be able to slow things down, and none of the aliens are anywhere in position to be able to defend it. And let's see. Zeph moving up a little bit too far forward. And we got Infamous and Joshy just hanging out there in East. Okay, sure, it's been cleared of all the alien stuff there in Nano, but if they move forward, they're just going to get picked apart by the Fades. In fact, they may be anyway, because here they all come. Infamous down already. Joshy backing up into the sentries. Sicknick there as well, but he's only an LMG. Sicknick barely surviving there with, you know, fractional HP. Tap's just hiding around the corner. Gets a nice swipe onto Joshy, but is able to duck behind this giant C in C12. However, they are gonna pick off Iron Fist there, who again was back as a skulk, so that's no big deal. I forgot to close one thing that makes sound. How dare I? Infamous going to survive. We got tapped down at 100 something HP, I think it was. And just at this point, Titus is just stuck turtling. On one side they got a Lurk. That'd be Wake, just kind of spiking away, being obnoxious. Yeah, sure, they got their little base here in East. But look at the map. I mean, that much. And C12 is debatable. They're trying to get the power back up in Nano, and they may be able to do so, but it's still all infested with everything. They're going to move the gate in there as well, so that'll finally give them a second gate. Yeah, sure, it's not exactly the best gate position, but it's better than nothing. And Rectum is just, you know, madly charging the sentry battery there, and it's going to go down. And then they're all going to pile onto the gate. Going through the gate, obviously not exactly the best idea because you're between like all the aliens in the world. We got Simba, he may go down here, he may go down. He does go down into the little gorgie. Iron Fist also going to get melted because he is the lonely skulk, and we're going to lose the few last Marines here. Sicknick being the only one still alive. Where the heck is he? Alright, Golden has respawned. He's popped through the gate. Here comes Joshy as well. Tap is down to pretty low HP. He's down to 100 and, what was it, 180 something? So he backs out to heal. They're going to try and wheel the arcs in there. But one of them kind of has a lurk permanently attached to it. That'd be Wake, who's trying to chomp down that lurk. Joshy's going to go and scare him away so they can actually try and secure those. But at this point, their place in East has been pretty much evacuated due to alien infestation. And they're going to lose over here in Topo. But on the other hand, they're getting 2 RTs out of this. So that'll put them in a better position. But it's still not exactly the greatest. They need to take down these life forms and take down the ones that would respawn as well. They are going for... GLs did finish. So that'll help a little bit if they actually decide to push one of these hives eventually. But it's just going to be so hard just based on the RTs. Tap barely getting out of there. Or no, sorry, Loam. Swarm going through, okay. Alright. I have another skulk going down there. HMGs. Now going. And East's power has gone down, so that'll, again, trap them in a little bit more. The power's still up here in Topo, but it looks like, given the fact that, you know, Rectum's heading over that way, it probably won't be for long, and they'll probably just take over that RT as well. That'll put Titus back onto, what is it? It'd be, yeah, it'll just keep them on 3 RTs forever. Meanwhile, Lom is just like a taunting machine right around the corner there. Golden getting chopped to death by Wake. Looked like he got caught in the middle of a reload there. Not able to do much of anything. But what else can they do? We just got 3 Marines just chilling out here. But we got a lot of aliens coming on in here. Getting a lot of damage into Tap right there. Iron Fist going to go down. They have an HMG on the field of the form of Golden. Infamous is going to pick up Sicknick's drop shotgun. Zeph also now with an HMG. Golden gets swarmed and it actually gets killed by Zeph. And they get flanked by Rectum and Wake, who have been waiting over in the other hallway, and there's just bullets flying everywhere at this point. But with the Crag hanging around the corner, and the fact that Umbra's up, yeah. It's just going to be a GG, and that'll be round 1 going to Lucky Chams. Alright. So for those curious, quick scroll through the stats here. Yeah, I didn't even look at the kill graph, but you can see it just kind of flattened off. Alright, we'll go back into this, and I will close the last thing that was making noise. Alright. There we go. Let's try this again. Alright, so that obviously wasn't the start I would imagine Titus was probably hoping to have, unless they're trying to lull Lucky Chams into a false sense of security. I think maybe would have had, I don't know. Avail is just very unforgiving. Let's just leave it at that, because, you know, you lose the yeah, sure, you may make your way into Nano, but if you don't take out the RTs there, you know, you aren't going to get exactly the best res trade. Because, yeah, sure, you lose the tunnel, the gorge is already down. But on the other hand, they were able to keep both the RTs in there, and they had to lose the power node in Nano. They lost the OBS and the beacon, you know, res to get everybody back. It's just not exactly the trade that you really want to take at this point. but or at least at that point of the game. But you know, well, not so much you can do now. And I'm so again, guys, I'm sorry that there were the technical difficulties there. I swear I set everything up right, but I probably did something dumb and like forgot to save changes or whatever. And then, you know, OBS imploded, etc., other stupidity. But at this point, hey, at least it's working now. So sorry you guys missed the first, what was it, 1 minute 45 seconds? Good practice round. Are you guys ready to start the match? Yeah, we'll see how the second round ends up going here. Or whether Lucky Chams will end up having another victory on this map. Yeah, Lou, who is the ref, by the way, in case I forgot to say that before the start of the last one. Who was the one who would pick Vale? Was it Chams or Titus? Well, we wait for... Okay. Vale was picked by Chams, so that could be part of it. If they've been playing it a lot recently, well then, gee, no wonder. Okay, Titus had side and picked Marines. Somehow Golden is caught as being not a, so I get distracted because I see messages in the corner of my screen. Not a actual player, so he had to be approved there as a merc for whatever bizarre reason. Anyway, guess what? He's on the team. He's on the team again. Oh, we have Rent now swapping in instead of, I guess their internet got fixed there, so Infamous has stepped off to do whatever else he had been previously doing. We got Rent now back on Titus, and well, guess we're just waiting around here. Titus is the one that they're waiting on at the moment. Chams has already readied up. I don't know why I was having such issues saying that, but there you go. Titus wins the badge wars. Yeah, I think they definitely have a lot of badges on that side. I think that is definitely a no contest kind of thing. Anyway. We can turn more on. Yeah, because I think some of them are indeed hiding some of their badges because, well, yeah. Alright, 15 seconds, and we are going to be moving into round 2 of Lucky Chams versus Titus Gaming. First round did go to Chams, and we are here on Vale, so pretty much anything could happen, depending on how these first engagements go. So here we go, 3 seconds now, until round 2. Alright, we are going to have a cargo start there for Titus. Not exactly necessarily the best one, just because, well, it's cargo. It's not a particularly alien-friendly room a good percentage of the time, just because it's so open. But on the other hand, well, hopefully at least no Marines are going to be in there capping anytime soon. Got Iron Fist, Rectum, and Loam being the Marines moving down through Topo. Looks like Iron Fist is on capping duty, and Loam is just going to push forward and possibly have Zephram drop on his head. Chomp chomp, there he goes. And for whatever reason, Rectum decided to go through the vent. Not exactly advisable. And they're just going to get really cleaned up on this top side of the map. They got the power done though. Oh, that's unfortunate. They're going to lose that right off the bat. Meanwhile, on the other side, it went similarly. Chams losing Marines on that side as well. So now they have this giant backlog of people spawning. Obviously, Simba jumped out of the chair to actually build a second IP. The power's down on top of though. And now that's going to delay them being able to cap, well, period, pretty much. Loam is going to take down Zephram right off the bat, or not necessarily there, but anyway, that's been plenty of time for the infestation to grow in there. Obviously, Titus did not go for a gorge unless one was really sneaky and, you know, evolved and didn't put a tunnel down. But no gorge on their end of things, so it takes them a little bit longer to get set up in Nano. But given how, like, strongly they won these initial engagements up in the top part of the map, I mean, it's like, who cares? You don't have power in Topo! They did finally cap over there in Skylights. You can see the tap is just cruising on down. But it's just so delayed now. And even just getting the power back up in Topo is going to be hard. But, I mean, at a certain point you just have to decide whether or not you want to skip it. Sicknick is getting, you know, he's pretty low health there. He has 24 health. But he and Loam split ways, and it looks like they're just going to go try and cap C12 as well. They actually have 2 building the power over here, and Joshy's going to be obnoxious and get parasites on them. Loam could actually jump into the vent. Yep, he is going to jump in the vent and try and come after Joshy, who is pretty much dead at this point. But, well, they got the power back up in top, but they are going to finally get that RT up. Versal showed up to try and get a couple bites there on Loam and possibly prevent that RT from existing. We got Rectum and Iron Fist moving in. Golden's up in the ceiling. So if they split up, which they are going to do, Rectum is just going to be food. And Iron Fist is kind of trapped there, back in top by himself. Obviously, Loam was able to sneak on through. They did cap down here in Pipeline, and it has been desisted, but Versal's moving through the vents, and he's going to be sneaking on over. Does have Golden also there as well. He's going to... Versal's going to get picked off, but Golden's going to be the lone survivor of that, engagement there in Pipe. They're going to have somebody hop back in and get that, RT back on cysts, but, no problem. And again, we're seeing engagements in vents. You're at a much slower speed moving through the vent, in case you didn't, happen to know when you are a Marine. And you're facing these, crazy fast skulks that, aren't slowed by vents unless they're trying to be sneaky. Anyway, Lum picks Joshy out of the vent, but pretty much the damage was already been done there. And Versal was able to take down, oh gosh, was it Tap? Engagements everywhere. Either way, we got Lurks up. We got Zeph and Sicknick up as Lurks. They're going to go cruising on in here with some Skulk backup, and Wake is just dead with a taunt on the side. Armor 1 almost finished, so that'll definitely help things out. But if we take a look at this, you can see that, well, look at how long it took them to be able to actually get that first RT up for Lucky Chams. That's hideously delayed. That's enough time for the infestation to grow all the way from cargo up to nano, and for the have that be dropped, have it grow. It's just crazy long time. And then Tap's going to be over here innocently, potentially trying to build that. Nope, he heard them coming, so he's going to get swarmed here by the the Lurks plus Rant. Interestingly, we're seeing a Shift Hive being the first one there from Titus. Not usually what you'd see. You normally see the Crag Hive being the first one typically, and except for the odd case where you see Shade. So that's pretty odd in my opinion, at least from what I'm used to seeing. But then again, maybe stuff has changed in the time where I've been busy with other stuff, so it could be totally normal and I'm just clueless. Anyway, front and seeing Marines moving around the map. Not necessarily winning many of the engagements though. Definitely having alien bias on that aspect, at least. And they're pretty well keeping pace as far as, RTs and such go, which is never what you want to have happen. You want to be ahead of them by a fair margin to start with as Marines, just so that way you aren't dealing with these life forms. But once you get the Lurks up and you don't, yeah, sure, they have shotguns. There's only, one on the field at this point? That'd be Loam. And they're getting the weapons one now as well. Okay, never mind. There's now no longer a shotgun on the field because, well, Golden was hiding up in the ceiling. He was able to pick off Loam. He gets really low there while fighting with Iron Fist, but Joshua was able to finish him off. We're seeing two push down in here to system. That'll be Tap and Wake, and they're going to actually rotate towards Nano, where Sicknick is kind of fluttering around there with Zeph on the other side. Now there are 3 Marines versus 4 aliens. Swarming on through here. They're going to lose one of the Skulks, and Golden's going to pick off one of the Marines. So all that's left is Rectum, and he's going to get destroyed. So Versal is now a little gorgy, and he's just like, running around healing people. We got Iron Fist does have a shotgun, so he's going to try and take some pistol shots there at Sicknick. But that that amount of distance right there is going to be giving. Wow, that is some weird artifacting. I didn't know they had shadows for the Lurk spikes. Yeah, Sicknick definitely knew that the shotgun was there. With Joshy getting some nice parasites on people, it'll make it that much easier for them to be able to set up here and jump on their heads and rip them off. Rant jumping in there, sort of by herself. She was able to get a good amount of damage onto Iron Fist, and they were able to take out. Zephyr was able to sneak in and take out Rectum. He actually hasn't taken really any damage from that engagement, despite the fact that there was a shotgun involved. And Metabolize started up now for Titus. And Iron Fist is just, you know, having a little standoff, but we see that there are 3 Marines moving on into system. They are getting the obs up, so I'm assuming that, well, Phase Tech might be pretty much right around the corner here. Iron Fist is just being driven back by the lurk spikes. There isn't much he can do about it. Yeah, sure, he's getting meted. He does get rid of Zephram's armor with the shotgun, but, well, Josh had already snuck on through and was able to just clean things up. Rectum will be able to recap that shotgun unless, you know, he totally messes up and Josh kills him. Where did that drifter come from? I guess it kind of got confused. Meanwhile, the 3 that were in system did rotate into the nano. There is the crag there, and you can see that both the lurks are just kind of waiting. They have been scanned, so they do know that they're there. And here come the fades. We see Rant in there crashing around. Joshy hadn't turned into a fade yet, so I'm assuming he'll probably respawn and do that fairly shortly. Pipeline Hive has been dropped. There are no Marines on that side of the map, so that's going to be pretty easy for them to grab. But all the stuff now in Nano is pretty much a waste. But at this point, Chams is sitting up at 5 RTs while Titus is only at 4, and it's going to go down to 2 here in a moment. We do see some blinking across over in what is it? Overlook. Begins with O. And so that'll be -1 RT there, and it looks like Sub is also going to be causing a bit of an issue. Also going to be evaporating very soon, so it'll go back to being kind of even there. Versal's healing up the hive. It's sitting at 25% grown, so it's going to be a little while before that actually appears. Meanwhile, we got the life form train moving up towards Topo. They are going to run into Iron Fist, which they're going to make short work of, and it looks like they're going to just get rid of that RT there in Topo and really melt all the res that is outside of Nano. Gorge Tunnel now up also between cargo and pipes, so that'll help with the movement across the map. Phase Tech is done now too, so that'll also give them again the nice launch pad into the map. Put Chams down to 4 RTs and Titus sitting at 2. Titus is obviously on the back foot as far as that goes, but they do have room there to, you know, expand elsewhere. Pipeline is done. They're gonna go for Crag for second hive. Zephyr is probably, yeah, he is gonna be dead there. He dove a little bit too deep when everybody else was far away. As long as Sicknick doesn't lose his lurk, you know, it'll pretty much be fine. But, you know, fades are up also, so it's not the end of the world. So he'll probably just go on back res and just chomp stuff in the face. You see Golden's just waiting around the corner, hoping that Rectum will get brave and come forward. Actually, here comes Rant as well. They're going to force this engagement. Not landing swipes there, so that's going to prove to be a little bit of an issue. Golden is down to fairly low health, but they're finally going to swarm him, and he will go down here. So Sicknick and Golden are going to work on that RT. Wakes is waiting around there, wondering if they're going to come and, you know, actually approach the base. Had a little bit of an issue there with Tab being between the Fades and the Hive, but they were able to zip on past him, and, you know, they're still alive and kicking, so that's all good. I'm assuming with Tap kind of guarding that area, that is going to be where they're probably going to put a second gate, unless they're planning on putting one over in Dome. They did, however, send people over towards Pipe. They were able to take down... Was there another shell there? They took down the tunnel, I know that much, but I think there might have been a second shell growing over there. Yeah, there was probably a second shell at the very least, possibly a third. So they will have to redrop that. Getting some upgrades here for them so they can get... It's like Carapace is the thing of choice here. Sicknick spiking through the vent at them. Iron Fist taking a lot of obnoxious chip damage, and he's able to get out of the room. So they pass along the shotgun back to Tap. Second shell is now up. And Versal's actually working on the power there in C12, so it looks like they're going to try and expand at that side. Obviously, with, you know, this whole little hallway right here outside of Nano, heading into what is this? Yeah, Y junction. That is going to prove to be a bit of an issue. Tap is actually just cruising right on back into the room. I mean, there are two drifters. No, that is a drifter and a shell. Never mind. There. Oh, Sicknick, why'd you die when I was looking at Tap? But anyway, we lose the Lurk, but also lose a Shell. They're able to clear Tap out, and that is going to be another 20 res just sitting there in a corner. So they're without Lurks at this point, but they can re-Lurk as well, so I'm assuming Sicknick will probably re-Lurk at this point. Or if not, in the very near future, just so that that way they do have that ability to, you know, also cruise around the map really quick and get some long-range damage. Joshi being a little bit, I don't even know what would be the proper word for it, but he dives on in there without fear. He's able to get out the other side, though. And we're seeing Loam pushing on in solo as well into the pipeline hive. He's able to get taken down before he does really any damage, though. So a second shell has been built. I'm assuming that's down here somewhere. Yeah, they're hiding it this time. Because screw that. It looks like we're seeing a push into Nano here. They're going to swarm Rectum at first. Loam is there as a shotgunner. And he's almost out of ammo, though, so this may be pretty easy for them to clear him up. And that phase gate is going to have a couple fades swiping it, or have a fade swiping in it. Joshi getting low on energy, but he's able to jump into the vent there and falls to the bottom to, you know, metabolize back up. Rant barely able to get out of the room. Also, so does Joshi. Sicknick's got to take the vent out. So that pulls, you know, 4 Marines over to Nano. They do have the gate over here up in system. So they have the 3 gates set up on the map, so that locks down a huge chunk of the map that they're able to claim as their own. Power is finally down now over in C12, so that'll allow Titus to be able to cap in C12 potentially. It is pretty close to Nano, obviously, so that's going to be a little bit difficult. As you can see, Tap is already running through there as well, so they're going to try and build up a little base in this hallway that's right outside of C12. I think it is technically part of Dome. Joshi almost going down. I mean, look at that. Look at that freaking hardly any health there. He's down to 20-something. Either way, they're able to pick off a shotgunner. And all the fades have survived. Obviously, Sicknick is back up as Lurk, as was predicted. And, well, they seem to be being kept busy, at least, over by Nano. You can see that. Who is it? We got Zephyr working on an RT over here in Overlook. Tap chasing after Rand, but she was able to get out of the room. Joshi was able to do the cleanup there, and Iron Fist was, you know, running through with backup, with shotgun backup. But not too much they can do there. And you could obviously see that looks like Loam was trying to cut them off from the other side, but wasn't able to do much of anything about it. Especially with that Crag there, that definitely helps out. Just, you know, that little bit more health so they could take out the shotgunner before, you know, it does serious damage. Joshi going down to 180-something. Before he's able to get out of the room. Sicknick also losing his armor and, you know, a few chunks of health before they're able to get out of the room. Poor Drifter is going to get completely wrecked if it doesn't get moved. Rant just diving on them to try and see if she can do any damage. But with 2 shotgunners in there, that's going to be really obnoxious to deal with. Charge is started because they are 1 tick away from Golden becoming an Onos. And crashing around, slaughtering things, potentially, assuming there is no flashing involved. Loam sticks around a little bit too long and loses his shotgun right there. Tap is hiding right around the corner there, but Sicknick is not exactly willing to go diving on through. And just at this point, there's a lot of Marines that are onesie-twosie, and so Chams need to make sure they aren't going to accidentally throw a bunch of, you know, free shotguns on the floor. And there's Golden up as the Onos. They did take out 1 Marine there. There are cat packs on the field, as you can see from the fact they have turned purple. So that's good timing on that, and they definitely have enough res to be able to account for that. I mean, there's Chams is sitting at 7 RTs. I mean, that's plenty. Golden's jumping in there. He does go down very low, and he might lose his health. Yep, he is going to go down there right around the corner outside of Nano. They're actually going to take down Rant as well. Just this long, punishing hallway right through here. Oops, as I can't draw in a straight line, apparently, while using the mouse. But there's a, you know, that's a huge hallway that you have to go into and out of. And at this point, well, how are they sitting at res-wise? It's going to be quite a while. Zephyr will be the next Onos if they're able to survive that long. But they do have this problem with Tap showing up in their base again. They did lose another shell. With the cap packs, it's going to make it much harder for them to try and clear them out, but they are able to do so. They just are perhaps letting the res escape a little bit too far. Yeah, sure, there's a lot of, res that's been taken out. You can see the little, like, teeth on the graph there, but oops, as I mashed the wrong button again. But it's, like, not enough. I mean, they were sitting at an average, what, 5, 6? 5 or 6 while Titus was stuck down at, like, 2 for a very long time. I mean, yeah, sure. Just once the Marines get set up there in Nano, it's just really hard to dislodge them if you don't have the tools to be able to just kick them out initially. Up. We're getting a pause though. Oh no. And Rant's internet is dying again. I mean, at least at the moment, she is currently dead, so that isn't really much of an issue. And, she already lost her fate. I don't know whether or not that is going to, really affect things in the long run. It's actually close enough. Or whether did that affect why she lost her fate? Don't know. Anyway, we can take a look around the map here, see what's going on. Alright, scrolling into the blackness. I mean, you can see at this point, really, this is the only alien-friendly chunk of map. C12 is obviously debatable. But, I mean, it doesn't leave you that much res if you're the alien team. Where is he sitting? Yeah, he's just hiding away up there. Why am I hearing stuff? What the hell is going on? Oh, my phone is going off. There's apparently a flash flood warning in this area or something. Cool. Anyway. We'll just sit here and wait around. I was like, what is that noise? I have no idea what that is. Is that my phone? And it wasn't lighting up, so I'm just like staring at it. Oh well, at least it's during the pause. It was almost a good sound effect. Alright. It's going off again. Oh, I guess it is raining. Hello, everyone. It is raining in Los Angeles. So while we're waiting around here, I'm assuming we're waiting to see if Rant's internet will indeed improve or what's going to happen. Whether we swap somebody out or what. It's very exciting, obviously. Okay, let's just swap back into the overhead. Take a look here. I mean, we have Versal that is like cruising on over as the little Gorgie. There isn't the other end of the tunnel up anymore. And yeah, he doesn't have enough res to replace it unless he did and just ran for it. But I'm not seeing one over there, so I'm assuming that means that he just doesn't have any res, period. So he has to walk all the way over there, or slide all the way back. Okay, yeah, it looks like they're going to swap in Infamous again. Because, well, there isn't much they can do right now. As I said, at least she wasn't, still a fade. She is dead at this point, so not the end of the world, just mildly annoying, and they're going to have to catch him up on what exactly has been going on. But it's, again, not looking too good for Titus at this point. I mean, as I was saying last round, while I was talking about the difference in res, I mean, this is at least the difference in res, or maybe I was talking to it back in this chunk of time right here. But, over at the other end of the graph, this chunk, This is more what you want to see if you're a Marine team on any of the maps. You know, you want to see a good amount of gap there on the overall res, just so that that way you know that you're getting more upgrades. You know that, you know, if you kill a Fade or something, it's gonna stay dead for quite a while. Kills have been staying relatively even, so at least there's that. But I mean, kills in the end don't really mean anything if you're still having, you know, if you're having issues with, you know, just in general trying to keep people or trying to keep your RTs alive. So they're gonna have Sicknick die. As Joshy dances around on the little, like, crane thing that's up in the top of the room, you can see that they're getting sniped at, and they're gonna lose their shells that were over in the bottom corner of the room. He's gonna take a little bit of a jump over there, and you can see Loam is climbing up. He's going to try and use the little thing in the side. And he is going to take him down. But here comes the Skulk Brigade. Oh, we gotta switch back. I forgot to change that. Sorry, guys. Anyway. Hive is down now to 27%. They are trying to make some eggs here at the Hive. However, there's, you know, they aren't sitting at all that much res. And it does have a little bit of a cooldown. Versal pops out as a little gourd, just some healing. Spits at people. Runs away, flees in terror. Does get taken down. I mean, that is a fair amount of res that the Marines have lost as well, just because, you know, med packs, there's a shotgun on the ground, there's a lot of cat packs, but they're sitting at 5 RTs. And just, you know, the alien swarm is not strong enough here. However, Versal is going to take down Loam, and they are going to have just Wake as the final man standing there. That's 1, 2, 3 shotguns at least on the ground there. And the Hive is sitting at 4%. Somebody better build a Crag really fast there. Oh, Golden's actually just going to go Gorge. He had just about enough res left there to be able to do that. They're going to get a little bit of chip damage onto Nano. But, you know, that freaking power node's sitting in 90%. They have plenty of welders. So though they had that initial, like, really good setup there with the fights over in the top half of the map, it's probably just that they, besides Nano, they weren't able to get enough of a foothold across the rest of the map to really make it so that those first engagements were, you know, really powerful. I mean, that should have been, like, basically slaughtering Chams right off the bat, just because, you know, they lost both those top engagements. Not even, like, all the way down in East and West Junction, but, like, in Topo and Sky. So Sub-Hive has also been dropped, so that will be the third Hive. They will lose this one over here in Cargo, most likely. Golden attempting to do useful things. Big, obnoxious as hell over here in the back part of the room. Will they take down Loam? Just one more spit. Come on, you can do it. Golden is still magically alive over here in the back part of the room. They do have the Crag over here, and I'm assuming that does hit the Hive, but there isn't that much they can do. The shift has gone down. They don't have the biomass up either, so, you know, the upgrade's not that they really have any because, you know, have the life forms to really use it, but yeah. So they're gonna lose their stuff over there. Obviously that Hive is just, like, floating around, and that, if that hasn't been discovered yet, well, it might not have been, actually. I mean, sure, they'd have to go recap, but it looks like we do have somebody actually doing that. Loam is doing that as we speak. Oh, no wonder I was confused earlier. When you add the HP on the thing, it cuts off the bottom letter, the little tail on the P on Tap's name. Anyway, they're just, you know, basically running through the Skulks at this point, and they are just going to GG at it, which is, I think, probably the pretty much the only thing they can do at this point. There's just too much res sitting over on the Cham side of things to really make much of a difference. So a quick look through the stats. And we will be moving to a second map now. I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm assuming we'll find out here shortly. yeah, this part of the graph, great for Titus. This part, not so much. Alright. So we got... Alright, so we will be going to Tram right now, and I'm going to figure out what was blinking while we load. Alright. Yeah, they spammed my phone with frickin' 3 flash flood messages. That would be why it started bleeping like crazy. Anyway. Apparently hitting the wrong button. There we go. So currently, Lucky Chams are sitting up 2 points. This is a best of 7, so you know, first person to 4 wins. No matter what order. I don't know whether Gorgeous and Rant will be making a showing again. Obviously, if they're having some ongoing internet issue, that's going to be, you know, potentially hindering them a good amount, because, well, it's always better to play with the team that you're used to playing with than with a Merc, no matter what game or what team you are. So we'll have to see how Tram favors them. Obviously, Titus will be on Marines again. And so we'll have to see what first of all, RNG decides to give them as far as spawns go. And second of all, how the rest of the game ends up going. Alright, so at least at this point, Infamous is still on the side for Titus, so I'm assuming that means that they're probably just gonna give up on Gorgeous and Rant. Really awful timing, but I mean that kind of thing happens. I mean, obviously we aren't playing on a LAN or anything, so it's not like somebody's computer exploded. It's the dangers of internet. I'm assuming it looks like Joshua went AFK a little bit there during the map switch, so we just are waiting on him to join up, and then eventually for teams to ready up, and then we'll be moving on into round 3. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Obviously, I mean, the first round didn't look so great for Titus overall. But on the other hand, the second round really did. As I said, especially those first, that first engagement. I mean, they wiped everyone. They took the power down in Topo. It would have been really great if they'd been able to do that. Or you know, in most cases, you would have thought that it would have been like a really great start, and they would have been able to go and just easily take the rest of the game. But just, I don't know what happened there. Whether they just spent too long, you know, dwaddling around there. Whether Versal was out of the hive perhaps a little bit too much and wasn't able to fast expand the way that, you know, perhaps he should have been. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to like rewind and watch the VOD or something, but we shall see. Alright, we do have a ready up now from Chams. And we are still waiting on Joshi to join up the proper team. So we'll have to see how this one ends up going. Obviously, Tram is a lot more forgiving as well. So that I mean, if they're just rusty or whatever, I mean, that'll be a point in their favor just because, well, it's not Vale. It's not the map where stuff snowballs out of control ridiculously. It's one where in many cases it's hard to hold a second hive depending on where the spawn is. Obviously, if the aliens get top spawns, that's less the case. But, you know, if they actually get a shipping spawn for Chams, that might work to their favor. Or it might go terribly, terribly awry. Who knows? We shall see. Alright, we got Joshi on the team again. And here we go. We do have the ready up there from Titus. So we are going to be moving on into round 3 here in just, 10 seconds or so. And we'll see how it goes for them. Alright, round 3 of the Div1 Finals for Season 6 here on Tram. And we obviously got a north spawn up there for Chams, up here in Warehouse. We're going to see Rectum going Gorge again. And he is popping right out and bouncing along down the side of the map. We got 3 from Titus moving up through Hub. We got Golden, Joshi, and Sicknick moving through. Tap's the only one there, and he's just going to get completely obliterated because, well, there are 3 Marines. However, that does mean that Loam is basically able to push pretty far through into down here into Logi. Is he around the outside? Oh, no, he was behind the wall there. Versal had jumped out of the chair and had actually run over there just in case, but they did take down Infamous over here in observation. And it looks like here comes Loam as well. Obviously Versal did hear him and was able to pick him off, but that RT there is going to... Oh, no, it isn't going to go down. They just need just enough delay there to be able to clear off the Skulk. Infamous is going to move in, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to save the RT. And it is going to go down, but well, he took out the Skulk as well. Huzzah! At least the Logi has been capped, and Tap is going to try and poke at Zeph from over there, but not much can be done. As it is, Wake is pretty much trapped there between Golden and Sicknick. And with Joshi running over as well, I mean, yeah, there is no way in heck he was getting out of there alive. So with Tap moving in on Sicknick, Sicknick does go down. It'll be easy enough for Tap to go heal back up. Titus going to be up at 3 RTs here momentarily for shortly thereafter unless something happens. Iron Fist is sitting here at, for 4 HP, 6 now after the regen tick. Looks like Joshi was maybe trying to crawl under a ledge there or do something sneaky and he didn't exactly go very well. Oh, Tap was down at about 3, 4 at the regen. Either way, they both were really low, and I think just, the wrong selection of target there for Golden. Not that he could probably tell, because, HP bars not existent for the other team. However, it looks like they will lose a Drifter, so there's a nice chunk of res that is going to evaporate from the Cham side of things. We're going to see this 3 push up here into Mez. Where 2 Marines are going to go down, but then again, so are 2 Skulks. Sicknick, the lone survivor, he's going to jump up on the ledge there, and it looks like Wake maybe moving over to try and flank him. Parasite lets Sicknick know that he is there. Looks like Zeph got cleared out of repairs potentially. Either way, I think he was over here before. They're going to lose that RT. But it looks more of the issue is the fact that Sicknick and Golden are about to get swarmed by like half the alien team. But they didn't go in all at once, so that's giving them quite a bit of a chance here to be able to actually survive. And Rectum is just bouncing out and away because, well, it's scary being a lone Gorge against 2 Marines. Zeph now hanging out in Hub. Simba's just creeping along on the walls there, and it looks like, oh, yeah, we did lose the Gorge there. Rectum going down to Infamous, who was cut through the north tunnels there. Tap now going after him as well. They're actually being flanked on both sides. We do have Wake Up as a lurk. And Iron Fist as well. And they're going to go after the 2 guys over here towards server. Lurks being the only survivors, everything else in that general vicinity dying, including one of the Skulk died too being bitten by a lurk. Oops. Zeph getting attacked here by Iron Fist. He's going to take down Rectum, reload, get some pistol shots into Iron Fist, who is without armor, so that would be a really good there if you could just land a couple more shots onto him. But he was able to get out of the room, and he's going to go back to the hive to heal. Meanwhile, Zeph is, without armor versus a lurk and a Skulk. Looks like the Skulk decided to give up and just go bite res. Now there are 3 Marines over here and 3 various aliens. Wake hanging out in the vent while he regens. Sicknick is he? Yes, he is going to be able to take down Loam. Rectum diving in and going down to the 3 Titus Marines there in the hallway. I mean, at this point, Chams is only sitting at 3 RTs and Titus is sitting at 5. Obviously, Wake is just kind of trapped there in the vent. There isn't much you can do about it. They did actually drop an armory there just in case to see if they could boost Infamous into the vent, but, well, not much you can do now. They did regroup up there in North Tunnels. And Zeph probably hears them coming in. In fact, Tap is just hiding around there, and he'll be able to... Maybe? Yep. The Swarm has saved Tap, who was there with 4 HP again. And they're actually capping all the way over here to Mez. So that's a good chunk of the map. Both Lurks getting some spike damage onto Sicknick and Infamous, but it looks like Wake's going out one way, and Iron Fist is just going to hang around and be obnoxious for a little bit longer before retreating. There's nobody flanking him or anything, so it's pretty safe as long as he, like, you know, listens. And Infamous and Sicknick are just going to get chomped on a little bit, it looks like. Some nice med packs going on there. They were able to get a fair amount of damage into Iron Fist, but, well... The aliens live to fight another day, and they were going to take down that RT there in Mez. They actually have to recap the one down here in observation as well. ET is for the moment being left alone. Speaking of observational thingies, OBS has been completed. Phase Tech now started. So they'll probably be going, I would assume, for something pretty standard like hub gate into either Mez or over here in or even potentially over on platform. Depending on how they're feeling. Obviously something probably more towards, or might be better just so they block that lane. Joshi getting completely swarmed here. Was able to pick off Rectum, but ends up going down there because after being spiked to death by Iron Fist. Infamous about to be flanked here by Iron Fist. Does take out, basically get rid of Iron Fist's armor, but that's about it. Golden able to rescue that poor extractor there in repairs. It looks like Mez will end up going down. It looks like they were rebuilding it and it didn't quite get finished. Taking a quick look at the res graph. Well, so far, at least at this point, Titus is, keeping reasonably ahead. They have 1 RT one RT advantage. But once they start getting this whole area locked down, looks like Infamous and Joshi are going to be keen on trying to delay that. Zeph getting a lot of damage into Iron Fist. But he obviously has to know that there's kind of, some Marines there. They were trying to get a gate there in Mez. But with the fades up and, Tap basically just sitting on top of them swiping, that isn't going to do much. They're probably going to just recycle that gate. It got to 91% built. So close and yet so far, and there it goes, being recycled. They're going to work on trying to take the power down quickly as well, so that way that isn't an option. Obviously, that is one of the dangers of finishing the power, but obviously since they had the RT up there, they kind of had to actually use the RT efficiently. And by efficiently, I mean at all. Either way, Infamous just walks into 2 fades, which is very unfortunate. It looks like he just had a welder, though, so not hideously expensive. Seeing this big fight over here in Mez. Two Marines left. They're getting a lot of damage into Tap, who is hiding under the stairs. A little bit of dancing around Sicknick versus the world. He does end up going down at the end. Iron Fist also almost going down. They do have the Crag there, hiding behind the wall along with the Shade. So that's helping them out for sure, but I could have gone, just a couple more bullets, and that could have gone completely differently. We're seeing a 3 push into hub. This is going to be to secure the gate here in hub. Since the one in Mez didn't exactly work out, that would have been a nice forward position. Sort of taking the place of the hub gate. But well, you can only do so much when you get attacked by basically all the aliens on the map. Joshi over here by himself. He's going to have a little bit of a dancing around a little bit with Lum. He does end up going down. But they get there in hub, at least that gives them a foothold on the map that they were lacking in their first Marine round. So with that there, looks like going to go and try and clean out this crag, this obnoxious crag that was over here in Mez. And next they'll have to be the Shade. Obviously they know it's there. I don't remember whether or not they've scanned it first. But either way, Infamous was able to find it pretty much right away, so I'm assuming it was scanned. Oh wow, they are going to actually take down Loam, who just kind of, you know, casually bounces on in, takes a couple swipes, and then keels over dead. Because, well, he kind of jumped right on into 2 shotgunners. Not exactly the best there. See, the Rectum's trying to take the power down here and repairs. They do have the hive over there in server, so... But, well, they know it's there. Sicknick clearing up assist or two there. Getting a couple of shots towards Wake. It looks like they're just going to push on in towards it. Tap getting down to about half health, 228, and a chunk of armor. They're going to lose the Gorge, though, it looks like. Simba's going to dance around behind the server racks. He is going to go down. There is one annoying Hydra hanging out there, and another Crag. And actually, Iron Fist is going to die somewhere to Zeph. Where the heck is Zeph? Oh, he's just being amazing over here by the gate and making sure that nobody can take that. Since there's only a fade, well, they'd pretty much given up that as a dead hive at that point. And going to try and clear that gate so they didn't have that foothold. Well, at this point they lost the goal. Hey, come on, quit dying! They went for base, obviously. They lost one Marine there. I think that was Versal jumping out of the chair. Why do you guys keep doing this when I'm not looking in that general direction? I am obviously a rusty caster at this point. We got Tab moving in on both the shotgunners again, and assuming he doesn't do the same thing that, you know, Loam did, he's going to be able to take down one. But there's still 2 shotgunners again, rather, because Infamous has moved into the room. Get a couple of nice shots, but not enough to really do much damage. He is going to get blocked by the bone wall, so that'll slow things down, but that's going to be easy enough to clear since that is tied to the biomass, and they're only sitting at 3 biomass due to the fact that, well, they don't have that 3rd hive up. Zeph tap dancing around here with Loam. He almost takes out Loam, but he's sitting there with 7 health left. So close and yet so far. The RT down there in Logi is going to go down, and the power here in ET is possibly going to go down as well. They did just drop the hive over here in repairs. And it looks like, well, the res across the map has been pretty well melted, except for Chams at this point. They've kind of took off. So having the top half of the map, I mean, that's a huge amount of res that you can lock down. I mean, just, you know, once they're done dancing around the extractor here, I will draw on the map. Alright, well, he seems to have escaped. I mean, just look. I mean, it's so easy. You get, like, 2 here, another one here, and another one here. I mean, it's such a close distance in comparison to the south half of the map. You can see they've also moved some of their healing stuff. You can see there's a Crag and a Shade right there in the corner. Alright, and another Harvester has died from lack of infestation. Tap is actually pretty low, so we better not go in on that. Actually, they both were pretty low, without armor at least. But with the hive sitting there, 23%. And let's see. Sicknick just working on taking down yet another Harvester here up in platform. However, Tap is going to respond to that. He's going to get a swipe and not take any bullets for his trouble. Pilots, I suppose. Yeah, but now he's going to go in. He's going to take a couple of nice shots. Another one would have been enough to actually kill him there. But he is going to be able to duck around the corner and get out of danger. So 2 drifters going about their merry little way, building everything ever in here in repair. The hive isn't even up to 40% grown yet, but looking at this, you can see that, well, let's take a look at the res. It's going to be a little bit longer before Rectum is going to be able to become an Onos. We're down to 1 fade, 1 lurk. Wake has relurked, obviously. And they're actually going to go for, come on, are they going to be able to get him? He's down to 22 health. The Crag there in the corner definitely helping out. He's going to be able, Wake is going to be able to get out through the vent. Meanwhile, poor Zeph is there all alone versus a fade, and he's going to get killed. And now we've got, up towards the top half of the map, the Crag obviously got, Crag and Shade were moved close to over there in platform to help defend that injured Harvester. Tap again, taking a bit more damage, and they're going to take down one of the skulks there. But, well, it's just a skulk, and at this point, Titus has climbed back up to 5 RTs, while Chams is only sitting at 4. Again, that's a pretty good ratio if you know, as far as things are going. But they are at Ono's res at this point, and that's what's going to be the egg right there. So if their little like spidey senses are going, they'll scan the hive and see what's up. But at this point, I mean, they're sitting at weapons 2, armor 2, and they're going to hear that Onos right now. They know what the heck's going on. And they do have some arcs, and they just need to get that. They need to get the block up in the doorway to try and defend or something, because it's going to get kind of messy here. But they do have Golden coming from the other side. They know he's there because of Iron Fist hanging out in the pipes right there. Looks like Golden was probably taking a couple shots at him. They are going to get the block up in the hallway there with the armory. And Golden is going to try and go in. He does kill the Skulk, survives with like 2 HP. And now everything in base is kind of getting shot at by these arcs. Here comes the Onos again, moving on in. Trying to kill the armory. It is welded up fairly high. It is at 100% build. Welded to 63 at the very least. And it looks like they may be able to actually take that down. I mean, the hive is already down to 19%. So that's going to be a really great victory there for Titus, at least at this point. There goes the hive, and there's all that stuff they have to clean up. But here comes the Onos. Rectum is going to try and flank them. Changes his mind at the last minute, perhaps realizing just how many Marines are probably there in that corner, and they're going to go over towards... Are they going to try and just go for base? Zephyr, obviously standing in that hallway, can hear them, and he knows what's going on. So they either have to port back through, and it looks like that's what Golden is going to do. He's going to pick off the first Skulk there. Then comes Tap. He's going to 1v1 Golden there in the hallway, end up with Tap winning. Infamous is going to recycle that shotgun potentially, or at least grab the welder, then run the hell back to base because there's kind of an Onos, a Skulk, and a Lurk running back through. They are going to beacon it back through. They don't have another chair place. They don't have enough res for it, so it's really important that they are able to go through and build this. They do have 2 IPs. They're going to take down Wake in the hallway. Infamous was chasing after him. But with them taking out the top part of the map, I mean, you could see the res graph. I mean, yeah, sure, both teams have lost res in that because they had to force so much attention up here to defend the arcs. That gives them a good opportunity to gives Chams a good opportunity to go through and kill the back res while the Marines are so, basically they have to sit there and babysit the damn things. There is still one shell and there's still one shell hanging out up there, and that's going to be found right here. Is that a cloak drifter? Okay, that was just like I don't even know. A fake drifter. They're going to lose the shotgun, though. I need to make sure they don't end up losing those. I mean, looking at the P-Res, there's a lot of P-Res in some of these players. Ephraim has like 1 billion. You could just buy shotguns for everyone. Say screw it. And they're going to move for an ore gate, so that's another good position there. I mean, normally... but they are going to end up losing Zephyr there and with the Onos as well. I mean, yeah, sure, Joshy's doing a good job at delaying, but the arcs are now parked there in a corner and not able to do much of anything. Sicknick's going to come running around the... Okay, he's changed his mind. Let's just let the arcs die. Okay, so they're rebuilding the hub gate, because I guess that went down while they were, while it was going on. They are going to lose the RT over there in Mez, most likely, unless somebody rotates over that way. But with all the shotgunners just like cruising on through there, I mean, that's going to make it very unhappy for Rectum, who's trying to back up, but looks like he got maybe caught on a pillar a little bit there. They're just chasing after him like crazy. Yeah, sure, they got Wake back up as a Lurk again. But he may go down as well. Oh no, he got into the vent. They did get another thing of biomass or 2 research there, so they do have their upgrades again. Just not all the Crag Hive related stuff now. And it looks like Rectum is just going to like man mode right into them. And Wake is going to go down again, and they may lose Tap as well. He's very low health, but he's able to duck around the corner before anything bad happens. Meanwhile, you got Simba just kind of going slow motion gorge there right around the corner, just cruising along. They got their gate back up there. Actually have some max recapping. At this point, you can see that Titus is down to only 3 RTs. They do have a 4th one building, and they can easily cap the one in ore there, so that'll put them up at 4. Chams will be sitting at 2. And with the fact that with the placement of the gates at this point, that pretty much traps Chams onto only 2 RTs at most. Unless they clear one of these places, just because, well, I mean, okay, they could be really sneaky and send a sys chain through here. But that would rely on them probably having a shade or something in that corner just to make sure that they can't see the cysts. I mean, because at this point, nobody's going to walk through that part of the map. So there is that fact, but, you know, it's going to be kind of iffy. Okay, that is slowly dying over here. They did actually cap over there. And meanwhile, we got a bunch of stuff going on in base. They're going for the power, which is a very good call there. They do have the 209 going after the power, and the power is going to go down there in the Marine base. They don't have another place to drop the hive, and everybody's out. And that's actually just going to be a really quick, really good call there to get for Chams to get another win there. I wasn't watching the P-Res, obviously. Yeah, golden there with hashtag throws. Alright, take a quick look through the stats. I mean, that one was definitely going in Titus's favor as well. Just, they saw that opportunity there and just nobody... I mean, that's one of those things, you know you're going to win it. Save up for that second chair. So that way you don't, you know, throw the game, because that's bad. Not quite to the level of Kane jumping out of the chair and... Why is this not working? Okay, there we go. Kane jumping out of the chair at the very start on Veil and dying to like a gorge on a skulk or something, losing the game that way, but, you know, not having that second chair down by that late in the game when there is at least one Onos, if not more by that point, it's generally a good idea to try and get that second one down. And that's one of those things that I guess it's kind of hit or miss. Like, I know a lot of, like, in pubs, they'd always go and build, like, 1 billion chairs, and you're like, why do we need this many? We don't need, like, 3. Come on, guys. But then again, I mean, when you're that late in the game, you need your fallback plan. And so, at this point, if Titus loses another game, it'll be Chams for the win, but... just that one play cost them the game, or rather, the lack of foresight? I don't know. It just... yeah. Stuff. Alright, taking a quick look here. Alright, actually, this is going to be quick into round 3 here. Final, what is potentially the final round between Lucky Chams and Titus Gaming here for the Div1 Finals is starting up right about now. And this time we are going to see them starting over in server. Not exactly my favorite spawn. They're going to have Golden go Gorge right off the bat. We have to see where this little skulk pack ends up going. Looks like 2 down towards these 2 guys here in observation. That'd be Iron Fist and Rectum. Getting a couple good shots on Infamous, who is going to get a parasite there on Iron Fist, but Zeph is just waiting around the corner. Versal looks like he went mid, or the mid part of the map over here in Hub. And looks like he almost killed Tap, and Tap killed him. I did clean him up, but on this side of the map, Golden the Gorge being the lone survivor, able to put the tunnel down, get that nice cross-map tunnel there. Well, he better hurry up and jump into that thing, because that's going to be kind of scary when Wake comes around the corner. Alright, Versal does respawn, is able to pop back through. With a nice little taunt there to end things off. Infamous versus Tap here. Right in the little hallway outside, leading up to ET. He was able to get 1 bite on the Tap. But, you know, not much you can do. Versal already trying to get some damage into the Logi RT. He's going to have Sicknick back him up, and they're going to actually take out Wake. And they're going to take down that RT very quickly here. It looks like Rectum is going to run in and try and do something about it, but he's going to be way too late to be able to do anything aside from recap. Looks like he's just going to stand around there, and he may end up getting attacked here by both of them. He's going to take a couple shots at Sicknick, who's going to back up into the room here, or up into the repair room here. Looks like we had one Marine that was pushing platform. Okay, back to repair. Alright, so we got Wake showing up as well, and he's going to be able to take out Sicknick. Tap killing the lovely play Sis Chain that had gone all the way to Mez. Which is very unfortunate, because of course that is a really obnoxious room to hold, just like for pretty much anyone. It's just so easy to access because it's so close to Hub. They're going to take down Tap. Maybe get a little bit of friendly fire going on there, but They're going to launch themselves there at Loam. Take him down, but Sicknick is going to die as well. Iron Fist is still alive. He needs to reload. He has reloaded, and here comes Versal. He's going to fly over towards him and end up going... No, he's going to duck around the stairs and be obnoxious, but he is going to get one bite on Iron Fist and otherwise going to go down. The cyst chain has been replaced. It's already been popped. At least one cyst has there. It is growing a little bit, but, well, it's going to die very quickly here. Meanwhile... Infamous is going to run right into Tap, who's going to gun down the poor Skulk right there. It looks like Iron Fist and Rectum are actually going to push a little bit towards... Oh hey, TeamSpeak died. So anyway, they were pushing towards... they were pushing towards the server room here. Ah, whatever. What button is it? I think I'm still going at least. Anywho. Golden doing mighty battle gorge things as he dodges around here, spitting the poor Marines to death. But obviously tonight is just not a great night for generally stuff. Alright, so we see Sicknick turning into a lovely little lurk there, as Zephram already is. So with the lurks on the field, make things a little bit better here. The only problem is this little area here is all desysted. They do have the one cyst here, which is actually holding on because that crag is a thing. Okay, it has been resysted. Swarming on in there. They actually get a lot of damage into Zephram. He's still alive, though. He's sitting at, like, what? Stop moving so I can read your health. Not quite enough, though, to be able to re-engage. Golden is there, so he'll help out trying to keep things alive, and actually we'll get quite a bit of spit damage there onto Iron Fist. And Sicknick is going to be the lurk that re-engages there and was able to help secure that. Obviously, oh, and they're going for a pretty quick hive here. Hive has been dropped over here in warehouse, and it looks like none of the Marines were really close enough to be able to hear that. Rectum obviously is down here moving into mezzanine with Zephram, or sorry, Sicknick is right there. Zephram's over there. Looks like they were both going to converge on him if Sicknick did not end that cleanly. But with Sicknick waiting on the rafters there, it was pretty easy to clean up. Alright. 3 aliens moving on in. Iron Fist is all by himself here, and he's probably going to be pretty easy for, well, the Skulks, let alone with lurk support, you know, to just get completely demolished. He was able to take down Josh, it looks like, and Infamous is hiding on the wall there. Rectum surviving, was able to win that little fight. TeamSpeak is alive again. Anyway, let's see, where were we? You see that they're holding the top half of the map, but the problem was, I mean, this is almost 60%. TeamSpeak is having issues, so I'm going to Alt-Tab here as soon as this engagement is over and just, like, mute it or something.
Connected.
Shut up, TeamSpeak.
Sound muted.
There we go. Sorry, it's annoying. Anyway, where were we? Golden just hanging out on the wall there versus Rectum and Loam. He's ducking around on the... Is that the ceiling? Okay, he's underneath the stairs. And they're trying to get him, but can't really. And that's giving plenty of time for Sicknick to be able to come through the vent, get him, take out Rectum. And now Zephram's going to go through and take out Loam. So Wake's there by himself. And is going to get chomped on by a couple Skulks. So now we've got, let's take a quick look at the res graph. They've been keeping pretty much on par, so that gives a little bit of an advantage there for Titus at this point. I mean, that gap right there, that's, I mean, you want it to be more. But there has, obviously, based on that, there hasn't been that much res butting. I mean, they're both Titus is sitting at 5, and Chams is almost on 4. They are going to be... Titus is going to drop down to 4 here in a moment, unless, you know, the resisting magically happens. Because that's getting kind of close as far as... Okay. Is it going to make it? Will it make it? Nope. Not quite. Rip Harvester. It's very important. Anywho. Taking a look at the map. See, the tab is about to walk into a nice little ball of death right here. We have Joshi up as a fade, and we'll have to see what shall happen next here. With shotguns on the field, I mean, obviously, shotguns versus fades, slightly frightening. Yeah, it looks like we will be seeing Infamous appearing as a fade as well. They almost get that RT. It's down to 5%. They could, I mean, they could almost have the lurk spike it from the doorway practically. And we have Versal out as a Gorge again. And you can see with the power socketed here and phase tech now complete, I'm assuming that's going to be a hub gate into, I don't know what would be a secondary gate. Probably Ore. Ore just seems good. I don't know if they know that the hive is there in warehouse yet. We're actually going to lose Joshi in that fight. Though there were a lot of freaking aliens, I mean, somebody's got to take the bullets, and it looked like it was reasonably spread out among all of them, except for the fact that I think Joshi probably took one too many point-blank shots there. Rectum and Loam being the ones who survived, backing up now, obviously with the Mez Harvester cleared as well. That's going to give them a reasonable opportunity to try and get the gate up. Of course, they're going to put it right on the keep clear sign because, you know, signs are for noobs. Umbra has been started as well. It looks like it's going to be... It's going to be a while before anybody has Onos Res, so it probably makes sense to get Umbra. That way they could, you know, basically give them a little bit, that much more of a buffer to be able to keep alive. And they're actually going to go for a second gate right there in Mez. I mean, that's close enough. It's almost as like that, you know, put 2 gates in 1 room thing. Allows them to very quickly move from one to the other, and if the gate is being camped, I mean, you could just pop through and ta-da, there you go. Not exactly in the best order, though, at least if, you know, all the fighting is going on around the hub gate. Because to get to the Mez one, well, you had to pop through the hub one first. It's like they were waiting right there in the hallway in North Tunnels to see, to pounce on these poor lonely Marines, Tap and Iron Fist, but they aren't really so bad off. I mean, they got armor 2, weapons 2, shotguns, and they're just going to go wandering on up to kill this poor injured Harvester that's hanging out here in platform. Loam wandered a little bit too far, though, and it looks like here comes the swarm. They're actually, Zephyr is going to get picked off as he was going back to heal, and all those aliens better be careful because they know now that they're being flanked. Sicknick taking a lot of damage right there, and it looks like Golden... Will he make it? He does make it back in. And Infamous is going to go down as well, so it's all up to Golden as far as fades go. Sicknick is still alive as a lurk, and it looks like they're just going to wait at this point to see if lurks can go autos, I guess. That, however, was a pretty damn good clear. I mean, that's 1 shotgun, 2 shotgun, 3 shotgun. As long as they don't lose them, that's a pretty good win there. It doesn't make up for the P-res that they lost, because that's, you know, a fade and frickin' lurk and another fade. Okay, they were able to recap 2 of the 3 shotguns. So that's not quite as good now. So 6 RTs for Lucky Chams and only 2 now for Titus going on in each of the hives. And it looks like we do have somebody over there recapping. Maybe they're just going to throw the shotguns to them. They're having pity, and they're going to give them free shotguns there. That'd be a 2. There was the 1 here, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're getting to a place where the shotguns are going to near the point of equaling the res lost in life forms. And now with cat packs as well, they really better make sure that res gets melted, because that's going to get really nasty here very quickly if they have to deal with having cat pack Murrays just bum rushing the hive. Again, I don't remember if they've seen that the other hive is there. I mean, we could see what Tap is doing. Looks like they're scanning him in, possibly to try and get a gate over there, which if, or at least I would assume so. I mean, why would you scan over there? Maybe just looking for more RTs? Weight getting pretty low, but you know, there are 3 various Marines over there. It's going to be really hard for a single Skulk to be able to do really much of anything there. With Loam and Wake just kind of waiting around there, it's just, you know, freaking death right there. I mean, obviously right now they know that they have to be there, and with, let's see, oh yeah, and we have people with freaking aura. I mean, who cares? They know that they're there. More the issue is, do they know that the cat packs are there? Obviously, I think they have to now because, well, they're going to be all glowy and crud. Tap getting taken down right at the gate. A couple med packs dropped for him. Another, and there's an obs there as well. I didn't see that. That was placed right in like the box there, practically. Iron Fist chasing after Golden, who is going to be able to escape up to the warehouse hive. Looks like they were actually trying to cap over here in ore. That would have been their 7th RT if that gets built. Titus is sitting at 3, so they got platform backup as well. If they're able to get ore, I mean, okay, yeah, sure, they're slowly clawing it back, especially with, you know, people working on res. But it'll still take a while. We're getting Biobomb there for Versal's Gorge. Or at least I'm assuming he is still a Gorge. He's sitting inside the hive right now, but at least at last check. Cat Pack's making it kind of hard to win that engagement, but Zephyr was able to take down Iron Fist there, and he will continue to chomp away at that RT. See that Rectum's moving on in there, probably hoping that he could be able to do something about that. Not sure if he'll be able to get the chip damage from across the room. I think Zeph probably would have been better off just doing some more damage to it, if only so he could keep somebody welding it for longer. Golden ducking forward out of the hallway there, but guess what? There's Loam and Tap just walking through the hallway there. They do have Umbra, so that helps out a fair bit. Getting a nice swipe on the Tap, but he's gonna get out with barely any health. That's 28 there. Backed up by Sicknick's Umbra, just in case they try and take a shot at him. Of course, that might not save him necessarily, but it'll at least provide a little bit of a buffer. And it looks like they're gonna probably lose platform again. Taking a look at the P-Res. I mean, it's going to be a while before the lurks have enough res to go Onos. I mean, that is one of the problems with having your other person go, your 6th player, whoever the heck was the last one, go Fate as well. I mean, yeah, sure, at this point it's obvious they need it. At this point, Golden better watch out because, well, kind of this issue. He did duck through the tunnel. They're actually going to go through after him. We obviously can't see what's going on there. Golden's healing up at the other hive. Versal's hopping out. They're going to go back through the tunnel. There's some fight going on somewhere in here. Looks like Golden has won. Tap is out at the other hive. They're going to swipe him down. There's another free shotgun. They did actually, while that was going on, lose the gate there in Mez, but they were able to rebuild it. And Golden's able to swipe down. It was Rectum over there. And you can see there are probably, you know, yeah, there's lots of nice res biting going on here. We got Joshi and Zephyr working on Tap down here in Logi. That RT is almost dead. It is sitting at 20%. It's on fire, but, well, that isn't enough to be able to, you know, to really feel like bothering welding it. We got Infamous working over here in ET. Golden almost dying. Very cleverly running away. And by cleverly, it probably means in sheer terror. We do have a bunch of arcs showing up here, and they do have a shade hive, but the question, do they have a shade? Where's the shade? Yeah, there it is. It's maybe a little bit out of range to be able to, like, save the veil and stuff. There is a singular veil there, and it's probably going to get just freaking obliterated. Nice timing there on the ink. That'll slow down at least that one shot. Scanning again. Looks like they will get another, at least one shot there on all the stuff in the hive. So everybody's setting up here to try and do something about it. The RT there in Logi did go down. We do see that Tap is flanking from the other side. Versal obviously heard him. They're going to take down Tap. Versal's still alive as the little Gorgy Gorge. He will flee and go south. Or perhaps just flanking. It looks like they're just going to flank this. They do have Biobomb. They do have Umbra. This is going to make it really, you know, at least good in that aspect to be able to do stuff about it. Lots of Biobomb and shenanigans. Gorge down. Gorge down. Sicknick escaping as the lurk. We got Golden blinking in and out as the fade. He takes... Okay, it looks like for a moment there that maybe Golden killed, was it Joshi? Either way, they did lose the warehouse hive. That was their secondary hive, and it was a shade hive. I don't know how this one Veil is just, like, chilling over here and, like, totally okay. It's just like, I don't even care, guys. We got Sicknick working on the gate there. It's going to take them a little bit of time for them to walk on back, but it looks like they don't care. They're just going to go and walk towards the server hive. This would be a great time to go and, you know, if they had... They do have enough, but the question is, do they actually want to spend all of it? They could go and drop another hive over there and, like, repair or something. Actually, looks like we're seeing a big movement towards the Marine base. This is, of course, another one of the scenarios where they don't have enough to drop another hive. So if they do this right, they can chomp everyone down. But at the very least, it's just going to pull everyone back. They don't even have enough for a beacon, so at least that was, you know, distracting them a fair amount. And though Tap was in there killing the base harvester, and Loam was at least working on the one over there in platform, it looks like. Alright, will Tap die? Here's the question. They're going to do some welding there, get a good shot on the Golden. Sicknick's coming in from the side, but of course he's a lurk. He's kind of squishy, using the beams in the ceiling to be able to survive that engagement. And, well, they're kind of down a harvester. They are down to one harvester, and that'd be the one in warehouse, isn't it? I would say, how's that Veil even still alive? Is it because of this one? Oh, it's because of the frickin' Gert channel. Okay. Golden getting kind of low. There is nobody in the hive, so at least he can retreat if he so wishes. Tap going down. Golden's still alive. Gonna run into Loam. Loam is going to get chomped on. He is going to get swiped again. He's very low. Just like a couple of bites. That's all you need. It looks like Rectum was coming in to try and do something about it. Golden's being kind of ballsy there. But we have 4 Arcs and 3 Marines just chugging on over to friggin' the corner of Mezzanine here. At this point, they're sitting at armor 2, weapons 2 still, with cat packs. But we haven't seen those used as much now. I mean, yeah, sure, they're sitting at 5. You can see that the alien res has dropped a ton. And while I'm assuming this is while the hive push was going on, they did lose quite a bit of res there for Lucky Chams. But at this point, I mean, they're back up to 5, almost 6 again. And there isn't that much they can do about it, just because, well, you had to spend all this time to go and actually, like, you know, defend your freaking base. Titus is sitting at 55 res, so if they, like, knew for sure that it was safe, they could drop another hive somewhere. But that's part of the problem, is it's like, where is safe? How would they have enough time to go and actually do something about it? And do they really? And they probably need a good chunk of that to be able to ink and spawn eggs as necessary. They did take down the gate there and platform, so that is now gone. So it's a little bit harder. If they can actually just, you know, waste time for a little bit longer while this gate gets taken down. Infamous is working on it. It's down to, assuming I'm clicking, yeah, it's 61. But that's like 4 arcs. I mean, that's a good amount of stuff right there. One of the Veils has gone down. I believe that was the one in warehouse that was like out in the moon. All the other upgrades are hidden back here. At least some of them are. Oh, Sicknick goes down right there in front of the hive. They're going to have people charging the hive now. They get swiped down. The gates are gone now, and we do have Iron Fist walking on over. And they are going to lose that hive. And they did drop the one over here in warehouse, or not warehouse, repair room. But there isn't much they can do about it. So, and they are going to just GG out. So that'll be 4-0 for Lucky Charms. They're going to be the victors of this the Season 6 Division 1 Finals. Yeah, let's see. Alright, who is it? It's still Sicknick who's over there. Trying to defend the hive. Come on, they're fighting to the last man or something. Ah, and he gets axed. Alright, so there's the last guy. There's the banner. It is, as I said, going to be 4-0 in favor of Lucky Chams. We'll take a last look at the stats here. Alright. So obviously, that'll be the last game here for Season 6. There's a bunch of stuff going on, like, besides the ladder, I know there's, I think there's talk of Nations Cup and Custom Cups and other such things that eventually at some point will lead up to Season 7, so, if you haven't already, go check out ensl.org and, poke around, see what you want to sign up for if you haven't already. I know the ladder's all pretty much already in full swing at this point. This match was just so delayed that lots of other things have happened in the meantime. But that'll be it for now. And we're apparently going to go to a map change, so I think that's a good time to pretty much call it quits at this point. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I'll have to see how things end up going. I'll end up casting a few more matches here in the future. Hope you all have a good evening or morning, I guess, at this point for at least certain areas of Europe. I think for many places. And yeah. Have a good time. See you later.